Big, exciting, great news to start your evening as SSDI, SSI, Social Security and Railroad Benefit beneficiaries and veterans will be getting $200 per month throughout all the way to the end of 2021, upwards of $2,400, $4,000 according to Elizabeth Warren, under the Biden plan, which today got two more additional add-ons. One, that all Social Security recipients a lifetime, not to the end of 2021, could get upwards of 20% more on Social Security every month. Then, that Social Security recipients would get a cost living increase not tied to COLA, but tied to an entirely other benchmark. Oh my goodness, the good news keeps on coming. And new pushes from Wall Street and the Federal Reserve today saying, get the stimulus out, needs to be coming right now. And finally, the Biden administration says we can and should pay for stimulus up front before lockdowns come. Oh, this is incredible great news. This is Thursday evening, and this is Evenings LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Evenings LA with categorically incredible great news across the board. 3 rounds of rate increases for recipients of Social Security, SSDI, Social Security, and veterans, and still pushing for a major stimulus check, that $800 billion of CARES Act 1. As Joe Biden says, you'll get multiple stimulus checks as so needed until the pandemic goes away. Just incredible great news tonight. I'm so glad you're here. It's just a great night. I have a lot. Oh, something just flew in the set. Even the fly wants to some of the stimulus. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do. I'm going live. I'm going tape. There's outages. There's not outages. There's, late videos, early videos. You don't want to miss anything. I'm updating stuff by the minute, and this is the greatest community there is out there. Also, like this video. It's really helping the algorithm. Videos are appearing higher in the algorithm than ever before. In this video, I'll be going over so much. First, the breaking news tonight is that Joe Biden is seeking to introduce an incredible increase for your Social Security benefits that would basically raise it upwards of 20% every month, a lifetime. That's incredible. Then, that $2,400 at least, up to $4,000 that could land in your bank account. If you're on SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, that was what I detailed yesterday. Third, a new addition tonight that Joe wants to also have you have a increase as needed annually or monthly perhaps, based upon a new cost indexer, not COLA, not that one that you hate. This is all incredible great news. Then, bigger stimulus checks. What's going on with Mitch? More about him. And then the jobs market and the labor market. And what does Wall Street and the Federal Reserve say about your stimulus today? It's all really great news. I'm so excited for you. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that Wall Street started the day with the new jobs number out, 709, sorry about those 5 people, 709,000 new unemployment claims. That was the best number since the pandemic hit, but it's still not indicative of where we're going. Wall Street immediately said need more stimulus. And that's what Joe Biden wants to do. A new round of stimulus, actually 2 more rounds of stimulus was proposed by Joe Biden today. And actually, there was another one. I'm just losing track of how many of them. Let me do one at a time. The first round that he proposes is upwards of 20% more per month on your Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and more. My goodness, Social Security needs to get fixed. That's what everyone says. Republicans, Democrats. Mitt Romney, the Republican, says it needs to get fixed. Needs to be higher. How much higher? Well, a lifetime, despite what's going on in the pandemic, a lifetime, Joe Biden is proposing to increase it. People who receive benefits of at least 20 years would get a 5% bump, and widows and widowers could receive about a 20% per month increase. Boy, he's seeking to have eligible workers get a guaranteed minimum benefit increase of at least 125% of the federal poverty level. This is incredibly great news. The biggest increase in Social Security in perhaps a generation. This is absolutely what you need. This would be for all people on any type of Social Security or SSDI or SSI benefits, as described in the latest press release today. Second, Joe Biden has the opportunity and is expected to do so to dismiss the Social Security Administrator when he comes in to pass this legislation and get this all increase. Next, another increase. Yes, as you know, Social Security can be increased based upon an indexer, looking at something. We usually talk about cost of living adjustment, COLA. Well, he wants to get rid of that and use a new indicator, which is Consumer Price Index for the elderly, CPIE. It sounds like a Star Wars, sounds like R2-D2's sister. CPIE. Yeah, I'm CPIE. Where are you from? I'm from the Consumer Price Index for... Yeah. He wants the CPIE to be the indicator because you're going to get more increases. He wants the cost of living to increase more for seniors because they're not getting enough. Then... as if that's not enough, then we have the COVID increase, which is absolutely categorically incredible. That is upwards of $2,400 or $4,000. It's $200 per month for everyone on Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans, SSDI, SSI. Oh my God! It would continue all the way to the end of 2021. It would start when it becomes law, and it would be every month, an additional $200 per month. It would not disqualify you from anything else. So you would still get anything else that you are waiting for. Stimulus checks. I do not believe it's taxable, but I'm not sure. Someone in the comments said that it is not, so I don't know. This is absolutely incredible. He wants this to go out right now. He says that it's so important that people get this. He wants to increase the monthly Social Security checks by $200. This is his exact words, as proposed first by Senator Wyndon and Senator Warren. This is the transition plan statement. These are the actual words by Joe Biden. Seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. He thinks that you were left out in the last stimulus package, which you were. Adult dependents didn't get a stimulus check under the last stimulus package, got zero. And guess what the Temple Doom, who I'll begin to later tonight with her crazy wacko news, guess what she wants to give you this time around? $500, for 8 months. Joe's not having this silliness. He wants to give you a lot more money. And so does Senator Warren. Here's Senator Warren's actual statement from a few weeks ago that explains where's the backdrop. And Joe Biden has co-signed these statements by Senator Warren, actually co-written by Ron Wyndon, who was mentioned in the previous statement. This is why we're pushing to include in Congress's next stimulus package a $200 increase in the monthly benefit for all Social Security veterans and supplemental Social Security beneficiaries through the end of 2021. This will put $4,000 in the pockets of seniors. $4,000 for seniors and people with disabilities who have earned the benefit by contributing to Social Security with every paycheck. Oh my God, this is incredible. Why is this being pushed? Because increasing Social Security benefits is the quickest way to get money out the door during the economic crisis. So to recap, there's 3 things here. There's one from last night and 2 new ones from today. You're repeating the things all the same time. No, these 2 things are totally brand new. One of them is the new 20%, upwards of 20% increase a lifetime. Second, the step up as warranted, which is generally at least once a year, if not earlier, more often, an increase based upon the CPIE, R2-D2 sister, and then the one from last night, the $200 per month. Boy, this is categorically incredible. Now, what's also really incredible is you also get stimulus. And today, in a statement made today, Biden's chief COVID transition official said, we could do a lockdown nationally, 4 to 6 weeks, but we would only do it if we prepay stimulus to American citizens. And he talked about all the different stimulus plans. So he didn't just say he's going to give you a stimulus check and then you can survive on a stimulus check. No, he talked about everything. And he says we can afford to do it. Well, Jerome Powell spoke today, and he's the man who said that we can afford to do this. He said that we can afford more stimulus, that we're not giving us stimulus, and that Americans have only seen about 15% of their GDP spent on stimulus. He said that's not enough, that world countries have spent about 33% of their GDP on stimulus, and that was, back a few weeks ago where he meant that statement. He repeated much the call today, send out stimulus, send it out right now. And the concern is that other world economies have now spent more stimulus in recent weeks, and we have still spent nothing. What's important to understand is that the national debt was announced today, and it's now grown to double. It's doubled since it was last year because of the stimulus package. But it's believed that the financial markets can't support it. And so Wall Street's very excited. They believe stimulus is coming. And this is amid the news as Chicago is going lockdown. Indianapolis apparently is having issues. El Paso's a big trouble spot. And there's concerns that lockdowns and other forms of curfews could be coming to you soon. And there's belief that that stimulus needs to land in your hands before rather than later. What's incredible, great news across the board is that Joe wants to have you have hazard pay. More about that in a second. EIDL. Potentially the remainder of your EIDL grant, that $10,000 you never got. EIDL loan. Student loan debt forgiveness, mortgage forbearance, the extension of FPUC, PUA, and UI, more about that in a second, and more. First, the stimulus checks. What's important to understand is you, the Purple Power, need to be on social media pushing, and getting the message out loud and clear, because there's a lot of, how would I say it? It's just a lot of oxygen out there, and it's just false narratives everywhere, and you need to razor focus everything on where it is. This channel came to being by people pushing, not by people sitting on their duff. I, on the very first day, had all these people that were being played around by SBA and not giving them their grant and their loans. You know what they did? They did not say to me, I'll check back with me. I'll see it when it's in my bank account. Because guess what? Today is November. It still would not have been in their bank accounts, but for me telling them this is how you get it in your bank account. And so at that situation, I told them to call up SBA every single day, get up in the morning, call SBA, call them the next day. They would drop a comment. I said, call them again, call them again, call them again. They eventually, every single one of them got their money because I said, don't sit on your duff and say, tell me when it lands in my bank account. Just tell me when it's coming. Just tell me when it's landing. That's not how this government works, unfortunately. We have a bunch of nincompoops running the government, and unfortunately, you have to be a little bit more aggressive with them. You can't just sit back and say, well, just tell me when it's going out. Because when it goes out, guess what it is? $1 or $2 for 12,000 months. That ain't going to cut it. The first stimulus package, they played that game with us before you and I existed because this channel wasn't around then. I was not allowed at that time. There was a CARES Act 1 that was supposed to have 3 stimulus checks in it. At that time, you were in March, you were facing a lockdown. The nation was told lockdowns March, April, and May. Well, guess what happened? This channel didn't exist. Other channels didn't exist. You weren't on the ball. I wasn't on the ball. I didn't know what was going on. And they said, you know what, we'll just take out the other 2 checks. Let's see if no one catches it. And we didn't catch it, so they sent 1 stimulus check out. You didn't get the other 2 stimulus checks. Come May, they wrote a new bill. I wasn't yet in this subject matter of stimulus at that time. And they wrote a bill. They said, you know what, we'll do a stimulus bill, but we're going to forget about the April check. Why are we forgetting about checks? Then came July. Guess what happened in July? We all presumed they were going to extend FPUC. They let it elapse. So now as we sit here in November, guess what we're facing? We have a elapsed FPUC, which expired in July. We have UI, which is FPUC expiring in December. We have PUA expiring in December. We have eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, all those things expiring. And if you don't push, they aren't going to care about much of anything. Because they got their salary, they got their federal pension. They don't care unless you push. And that's why the Purple Power works. Now, let me focus on where your pushing works for fake narratives. Today, here's a personal note, and I rarely do this type of recording, and you got to really give me a little bit of leeway on this because I rarely do this, and I may not do it for a while. There's a lot of fake narratives out there today, and it was literally coming from every direction, and some of you were buying into the fake narratives, and I need you to back it up and say, no, 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 that's just fake. I'm not buying into it. First, the Temple of Doom came back. I guess the bats had to be fed or something. She came back, and guess what she said? She said, here's my wonderful bill from May. You got to pass this. Everything is fake about that. I got to tell you why. One, her bill is not agreed, is not supported by the Democrats. Two, she's not the number one Democrat in the country. Joe Biden is. Three, everything that I just told you that Joe Biden is demanding to have in his second stimulus package is not in that thing, that document she's holding. Four, everything that Joe Biden wants you to have, stimulus checks until this pandemic goes away, hazard pay, FPUC extended a reasonable rate, bipartisan agreement, everything that Joe Biden wants you to have, she has thrown away in her bill. So you see the problem we're dealing with is that she comes out and she talks about this thing. It's all fake narrative. It's not even what her party supports. Then we have Mitch on the other side, also fake narrative. Say, you know what, we can survive till April on, $12 of stimulus. Okay, Mitch, that's just fake. We know it's fake. Can you just stop that already? And so you have that problem. The reason why Mitch is doing that is to battle back to her, is to sort of pair off of her wackiness. On the other side, then we had Chuck Schumer with fake narrative. He said, Mitch McConnell's not serving the American people. He lost, so he needs to get over it. And Joe Biden won. Okay, last time I checked, Chuck, the Democrats did not take the Senate. The Republicans did take the Senate. And so you see that fake narrative. Then we have other people that are just left and right that saying Joe Biden is not the president-elect and that the Supreme Court will determine who the president-elect is. Let me make clear to you, in all respect, the president-elect is determined by the Electoral College. The Electoral College is determined by each state. States certify results of their state. When a state determines its results, the results are certified. That state makes a determination. Ultimately, when you have all the states make a determination, then you have a determination of the Electoral College. You may challenge the results and go to court, but until the court invalidates the results, the president-elect is the president-elect. And so there's some people that just sort of want to confuse everything. And the bottom line is Mitch is being partisan, Nancy's being partisan, Chuck is being partisan, and people talking about Joe versus Donald, that's being partisan. The issue is stimulus needs to go out, and this silliness about you and him and her needs to end. In his statement about 7 days ago, Joe Biden says the nation needs to stop being so partisan and needs to come together as a family that heals and does things together. That's the spirit of bipartisan working together and getting things done. And that's the spirit of giving you stimulus checks, multiple stimulus checks, hashtag MSC. So go on social media, tweet the hashtag MSC. Get the message out very loud and clear. Tweet McConnell, tweet the Senate Republicans and Senate Democrats saying, please use that unused CARES Act 1 money. Send it out. Tweet Biden and his transition team's Twitter account saying, please do this wonderful SSDI, SSI $200 a month. Please do that lifetime increase of Social Security. And by the way, Mitt Romney wants Social Security to be fixed, so you can include him in your tweets. Tweet Biden and Harris and Warren, who all want this hazard pay to come back, and make sure that Mitch gets that message as well. And then also keep on tweeting unemployment. Hashtag Purple Power FPUC. Hashtag Purple Power hazard pay. Hashtag Purple Power check. Pushing, because if you don't push, they'll give you one check for $1 for 20,000 months. And that's not the spirit of the Purple Power. It's pushing to the finish line. We're going to get it, we're going to win, and we're going to get everything we deserve. This is a great evening, and join me right after this for Purple Power Live. As always, go to the Fun Channel, subscribe. Subscribe because no one's going to give you this type of in-depth reporting and this type of focus on how to get to the finish line, and we're almost there. Also, like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay at LA for more.